Welcome to San Juan Capistrano. Before we headed to Dana Point for our little stay, we decided to stop here and have a little lunch and explore the area. Welcome to Dana Point. So let's talk about dreams and visions. Hello. Let me start with this Bible verse first. Then you will understand what this episode is about. The sovereign Lord has given me an instructed tongue to know the word that sustains the weary. He awakens me morning by morning, wakens my ear to listen like one being taught. It's by Isaiah chapter 50, verse 4. This is true. This is very true. So many mornings I wake up to a voice in my ear giving me messages or instructions. But I have learned to discern if the message was from the Lord or an evil spirit. If you feel full of love and happy, then it's from God. But if there's fear and you feel sad and depressed, then it's the dark one. All I have to do is call out Jesus' name and He will get rid of that feeling. There are times when I pick up someone's feelings, if they were in pain or just depressed. I've learned to pray for them for healing, and that feeling goes away. There are many of us have that special antenna that God gave us. It's called empathy. So we can connect with one another and give comfort. Some don't understand it, so they go through life thinking there's something wrong with them and take lots of drugs to numb the feeling of depression and pain. What does it have to do with dreams and visions? Everything. There was a time I was into reading books of psychics and mediums. I was trying to understand my own intuition, dreams, and visions. I bought a book by Sylvia Browne, medium psychic, called Mysteries of the World. I was enchanted by it, believed everything she said, until when she said Jesus did not die on the cross and he lived till he was 80, married to Mary Magdalene, and lived in France. That's when she lost me. Oh, I was so mad. How can she say that? If she believed that is true, then the whole Christianity was a farce. It was around Easter. I was still fuming when I went to my brother's house for Easter brunch. I had a conversation with my nephew about what I read. At the time, he was questioning religion himself. Before I went to sleep that night, I told Jesus, since he is all about truth, why doesn't he tell me himself what is truth? Well, I asked, and I sure received. When morning came, I woke up with a voice in my ear. I knew who it was. He said to me, "You may read or believe whatever you want, but the only way is through me." Yes, I was fully awake when I heard those words. That was the first time I heard his voice. That was all I needed. I got up and gathered all those books by that author and put them in the trash can. Day 2 in Dana Point. Look at this beautiful sunrise. And by the way, this episode was brought to you by God Himself. Why, you ask? Because I wasn't thinking about doing this episode, Dreams and Visions. Actually, I wanted to take some time off from making any videos. I did have something else in mind for later on, but God insisted that I need to do this video. Well, I think I understand why. But let's keep on going here. Now that he got my attention, he started coming into my dreams once a month. I remember the first time I saw him. It was like yesterday. I can still see it in my mind. I was in a desert-like place, in a square stone house with one door and one window. I was looking out the window when I saw something in the sky. It was descending and coming closer to me. I think I realized who it was when he was at my door. I was a bit scared and in awe. I opened the door, but I backed away when he entered. I kept backing away because I was afraid it was my time. Why else would Jesus come to call? He said to me, "Do not be afraid," as I backed away. He kept saying those words, "Do not be afraid." I think he said it like 4 times. He assured me it wasn't my time yet and not to be afraid. So I finally stopped to listen. His message to me was, "I am appointing you to tell the world I am coming back." Wait, what? Hold on a second. Why me? He smiled at me and said, "Do as you were told." Then started to leave and ascended to heaven. I woke up with a jolt, sat up, and looked at my husband. He was getting dressed for work. I told him exactly what I dreamt. He rolled his eyes and said, "Great. My wife will be holding a cardboard and standing on a street corner telling people Jesus is coming back." When he put it that way, I shrunk back into bed and felt silly. It was just a dream, I told myself, and assured my husband I would never do that. Two months later, I was back in that stone house in the desert. I thought, uh-oh. I went outside and saw that there was another square stone house across from me. The door opened and a woman came out, looked straight at me and said, "You have been told what to do. This is your second warning. Now go do it." I woke up with wide eyes and scared. What the heck do I do? That was the time I worked at the restaurant. Went to work, still thinking about it and asking God for a little help. That evening, a big church group came in and sat in my station. I summoned up the courage to talk to the pastor and tell him exactly what I dreamt. After I was done, I felt better. There, I told someone, I'm done. Of course, the pastor wasn't done with me. He wanted to hear more. But I didn't have time. I was too busy to tell him more. I bet you want to hear more, because there is a lot more. Every 2 months, I got visited by Jesus. Should I tell you now Or should I wait for our next walk? I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what. I was going to make part 2, but since we have a lot to walk here, I'll go ahead and tell you. So, my next dream, I was on top of a mountain, standing right next to Jesus. Wait, before I get into that, let's climb these stairs together. If you are on a treadmill, I would advise for you to put it up a little bit and climb the stairs with me. Don't worry, I will tell you about the rest of my dream at the top of the stairs. See that lady in pink? She must be in her 70s. She has weights and she's going up and down those stairs. So pick it up. Now, where was I? Yes. Now, before I continue with that dream, you probably want to know what Jesus looked like when he came the first time to see me. Well, he was not that tall. He was probably my length, so I would say he's about 5'6" or 5'7". He had brown hair, but it was on the reddish brown hair. But his eyes, it was his eyes that looked right into my soul, kind of thing. They were this brown, but they were like, I don't know, not red eyes, not red brown eyes. It was just these brown eyes. I guess if you ever watch the movie Passion of the Christ, you would understand. It was those kind of eyes. Anyway, so yeah, they're not blue, they're not green, but it was these beautiful brown eyes. Okay, so let's go back to my next dream I had. So I was on top of the mountain, standing right next to Jesus, and he was showing me down below, a city down below. And all of a sudden, it got all demolished. All at once, it was demolished. And I was surprised to see that. So I looked at Jesus and said, "What's going on? What happened?" He said, "Don't worry. It's all going to go away." And then, with his hand, a wave of his hand, everything rebuilt up again, but it looked much better. They were taller buildings, newer city, and he said to me, "I'm making everything new." And all the people who believe in different gods will all believe in one. They will all believe in me. I thought that was great. I said, "Yes, that is good." And I woke up from that dream. So when I got up, I thought about it. I didn't know what to make of that dream. So when I went to work that evening, I was thinking, God, I wish I could tell someone who would know something about it. And that's when this one customer came in. He does Bible study. He sat down with another gentleman, and I approached him and I told him about my dream. He looked at me with mouth gaping open. He said to me, "We need to sit down and talk about this. What you're telling me is the revelation." I have no idea what he was talking about, because I never read the Bible before. I don't know anything about Revelation. And I said, "You know what? I'm sorry. I am busy. I'm working right now. I can't talk." So he said, "Okay, then we need to have time and talk about this." Yeah, I'm like, no. So after that, I had another dream about 2 months later. We'll talk about it later. Let's just walk right now. I hope you enjoyed our walk today. A little climb on the stairs. We will continue my dreams and visions in part 2. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon.